common man?
Hello and welcome to the Common Man Show. My name is Muhammadu, and this is the program that is dedicated and committed to sharing the views and opinions of the common man on national issues. What's our topic today? We'll be looking at something that's very important, talking about President Muhammadu Buhari's approval of $1 billion for equipment against the fight on insurgency. Now, this issue, has brought a lot of reactions, talking about people saying, why now? Why at this particular time? And some people have, come up to say that perhaps the money will be used for running the elections coming 2019. And a lot of political reasons as to why the money was approved. But of course, you should be aware that the presidency, of course, has made clarifications on recent announcement that the president approved $1 billion for the purchase of security equipment to fight insecurity in the country. And of course, the presidency revealed that the approval is not final, as it marks only a stage in the process of acquiring the fund. And the president's senior special assistant, media and publicity, Garba Shehu, made this known while featuring on a TV program. But despite the fact that this is not the final approval, of course, when it first broke out, a lot of people were saying, how come the executive will just make such a pronouncement without having to go through the legislature, which has to do with the Senate and, of course, the House of Assembly? And as a result of this, there's been a lot of reactions so far. Well, we'll not be looking at some of the reactions coming from the popular people in the government and, of course, in our society here in Nigeria. But today, we'll be looking at the opinions and views coming from the common man. What are his thoughts on this particular issue? When you talk about insecurity in the country, it's something that has become a menace. Even up till this week, there were reports of killings, talking about herdsmen clashes. And of course, this makes it a burning issue. And today we seek the thoughts and opinions of the common man on this particular topic, asking him if this is the right thing to do coming from the presidency or not. We'll take a break right now. And of course, coming up right after this are the thoughts of the common man on this particular issue. Stay with us.
Who is the common man? He is the ordinary man, your average citizen.
Until the common man on the street can feel the impact of the exit, we shouldn't be celebrating.
540 naira, 99,
Things are getting more difficult for the masses on a daily basis. People are finding it difficult to even eat 1 square meal in a day.
My name is Muhammadu. Join me every Mondays as I walk across the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, taking and asking opinions and views on national issues, only on Nigeria Central Television.
No amount of money that is too much in terms of security. What we are just saying here is that the prudency in terms of spending the money is because, one, we are now approaching electionary period, because sometimes many people will think the money might be diverted into elections, and maybe that is the fear some of the Nigerians are having in terms of the amount is requesting to fight security or insurgency as whole. But like I earlier said, you see, do you know how much Americans are even spending on their security alone? So if $1 billion should be approved, I think we should give in that support. Not because of anything, because they say it is only where you have security that you can think of any other thing. Because security is the foundation now. Without security, you cannot even have time to stand here. You not even talk of, say, you want to interview anybody. So I think security should be is paramount to us, and it is also to synergize the peaceful coexistence of the country. I think we should give him that support, because Buhari as a person, we all believe he has all what it takes to to mean what he said and to keep to his word. So, but outside that, I think we should not allow it to fail rather than to rally around and give him the necessary support. You see, you can. It's unfortunate that you can only defeat your enemy if you know their numbers. But you can't defeat an insurgent, people that you don't know, people that live among us, people that do everything with us. So we don't know their numbers. But he can only said he has reduced them to a maximum at least level, but not to say they are completely reduced or defeated totally. I think I would disagree with that. But if they now come out and say, look, we're able to bring the number down to at least to some certain level, I think we agree with that, because you are fighting a guerrilla war. You are fighting people you don't know. You are fighting people you don't even know their number, their strength, you know?
Okay, to my opinion, I think I see it as lawlessness. Why? Because that money is from SS Good account and was supposed to be shared into 3 tiers of government. That's at the same time follow due process, uh, making sure that before the withdrawal, National Assembly by law supposed to have given approval, even if, as the case may be, as they said, security. But because this government, as it may be, on my own opinion, is already a failure regards to all the promises that they've given to Nigerians, and 3 years down the line, it's all about stories. So for me, as an individual, that $1 billion, mind you, it has always been said by this present government that Boko Haram has been technically defeated. But today, we are hearing different stories. So left for me as an individual, withdrawal of that money is recklessness. Because as far as this present government is concerned.
Okay, sir, please, what other ways do you think that we can actually fight the Boko Haram issues in Nigeria that we're facing today? Because lives are being lost almost every day.
Well, if you have been following the trend, left for me, sincerity, because as it stands today, we really don't know what is going on. When Buhari was about to come into power, he said that within a short period of time, Boko Haram would be finally defeated, and that the previous government that was headed by Goodluck Jonathan was making politics with the whole thing. But today, 3 days down the line, it's still the same story. What I think would be the solution is by, first of all, sincerity from this government. Sincerity. You know, as they say they want to fight corruption, putting heads down to make sure that they find the source of sponsors of this Boko Haram. By the time the sponsors are found out, then maybe they will be able to block, you know, the link of their funding, and then maybe at the same time through dialogue, maybe the issue of Boko Haram will be a thing of the past.
What I think about that is that for him to approve that kind of money, I know that money cannot solve it. Do you know why I say that the money cannot solve it? The money cannot solve it. It's only God can solve it. Do you understand what I say? It's only God can solve it. Even if he bring plenty money more than that, from my own understanding, cannot solve it. Because for it's only God can enter people's mind for them to change from their bad to good. Despite that, the thing will still be happening. You know, I say it will be happening. Shows that this is ending of the world. If you see what is happening now, you see that the world is about to end. But God will not allow me. I believe in myself that I cannot do that such of a thing. To go and kill somebody that is breathing like me is not good. It's only God can solve it.
Okay, but God cannot come down from heaven now and begin to fight or, make the change that we need to see here in Nigeria. We are only to pray for it to happen.
Yes.
So practically now, is it okay that they approve of some of this money to go and get these people wherever they are hiding?
Okay, from my own understanding, if they approve it and you later reach the people that are supposed to reach, I believe that the money will try. I understand what I say. The money will try. The money will try to stop it, but it's only God can stop it final. That is my own opinion.
So in other words, Nigerians should be more prayerful.
Yes, Nigeria is supposed to be prayerful so that God will fight. He said that if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and seek from my face, he said, I, God, will answer their and heal their land. This is our land that God needs to answer our prayer and for we to come out from our bad behavior.
Who is the common man? He is the ordinary man, your average citizen.
Until the common man on the street can feel the impact of the exit, we shouldn't be celebrating.
540 naira, 750 naira. Now it's 99, 100.
Things are getting more difficult for the masses on a daily basis. People are finding difficult to even eat 1 square meal in a day.
My name is Muhammadu. Join me every Mondays as I walk across the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, taking and asking opinions and views on national issues, only on Nigeria Central Television.
Welcome back to the Common Man Show. Of course, I still remain Mono Balagbobo, and some of the thoughts that just came to you are thoughts coming from the Common Man right here in the Federal Capital Territory of Abuja. And in case you're just joining us, we're looking at a very serious issue, and that has to do with the supposed approval of $1 billion by President Muhammadu Buhari against the fight on insurgency. And of course, this is a burning issue, and Nigerians have been sharing their thoughts. And some are of the opinion that as far as it has to do with the lives of Nigerians, because lives is important, and if it means this $1 billion will be properly used and it will effect a reduction in the killings of Nigerians, then definitely this is the way to go. But of course, when you come to think of it critically, you will remember that there was a time that the presidency actually made statements on the fact that the fight against insecurity in the country, most especially that has to do with the Boko Haram issue, has been completely dealt with. But of course, we've seen it raise its ugly head again and again. But of course, a lot of Nigerians are not really happy about the particular timing, because a lot of people feel it's some months to next year. And of course, next year is a very big year, a big time in the calendar of Nigeria because of the elections that are coming up. So we'll return back to hear the views and thoughts of the common man on this issue. Stay with us.
Who is the common man? He is the ordinary man, your average citizen.
Until the common man on the street can feel the impact of the exit, we shouldn't be celebrating.
540 naira, 750 naira. Now it's 99, 100.
Things are getting more difficult for the masses on a daily basis. People are finding difficult to even eat 1 square meal in a day.
My name is Mono Balagbobo. Join me every Mondays as I walk across the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, taking and asking opinions and views on national issues, only on Nigeria Central Television.
Boko Haram is a was. It's a conspiracy against the people of Nigeria to siphon our money. They are using Boko Haram to siphon our money. All the contracts they have been, all the money they have gotten from the EU, everywhere, even Nigerian money, they are using it, talking of IDP. IDP is nothing but a was.
Okay, sir, but we can't deny the fact that there have been attacks from Boko Haram.
Attack of Boko Haram is a conspiracy, and I tell you that they are using this to siphon Nigerian money.
But lives are being lost. Please, what's the way out of that?
The people who conspired against, they don't care whether life is being lost or not. Their aim is to get money. It's to siphon Nigerian people. So Boko Haram is a worse. Buhari should take steps to solve it.
Okay, let's look outside Boko Haram. We have other security challenges in the country. What's the way out of that?
Buhari should solve this problem. He'll be able to solve this problem because you know what is going on. If he's sincerely interested in solving the problem, he will solve it. Are you getting what I'm saying? He went and stopped IPOB, or what they call it? IPOB in the east. If Buhari stopped IPOB in the east, why can't he stop Boko Haram? Is it by carrying Nigerian money in the pretense of stopping Boko Haram? Is it time to stop Boko Haram? No. Boko Haram is a diversion. It's a horse. It's a complete horse.
I've heard that, but I don't really believe that.
You don't believe that he has approved?
He might have approved, but to fight Boko Haram, that is a complete scam to me. Because after spending a lot of time since 2015 up till date, you are just approving $1 billion, right, to fight Boko Haram.
He has actually approved other amounts of money
Before
so
now.
This is coming like the second or third time he's
To
doing
fight same Boko Haram.
Yes.
And this same Boko Haram, we hear that they have been completely eradicated. After maybe hours time or a day after, we hear boom, it has happened again, right? All this money they are approving, what are they using it for? Why are we still seeing Boko Haram every day? They even appear in form of Fulani. They call them Fulani herdsmen killing innocent Nigerians. Up to date, all those things are still in existence. I even heard that they are about to start up an amnesty program for Boko Haram as well. Okay, if someone wants to start such a program and you want to start, they say they want to start taking care of the Boko Harams that has repented. Who are they? Do you even know anyone by face or by name since the inception? The inception till now, you don't know. But you are fighting Boko Haram, approving money, wasting Nigerian funds in your own selfish way or means. I don't really think the approval of the money is working for what is being approved for. They are just using it to help themselves. They are just playing the whole of this nation, as in Nigeria. They are taking Nigerian to be a fool. They are squandering Nigerian fund.
Yeah, of course, we've been hearing that before now, and we heard lately, finally, it has been approved. But as a good Nigerian, I don't believe in that money. Because why now? 3 years after Buhari government, 1 year towards election, less than 1 year. What are we talking about? About 7 months to elections. They are now approving $1 billion to fight Boko Haram. The Boko Haram they told us they've technically defeated is a lie. The money is for election. It's for election. Everything is politics. We are one Nigeria and we love ourselves. It's when politicians comes with their tricks and bigotry and hate speech that we begin to fight ourselves. We love each other and we know what is going on.
Who is the common man? He is the ordinary man, your average citizen.
Until the common man on the street can feel the impact of the exit, we shouldn't be celebrating.
540 naira, 99, 99, 100.
Things are getting more difficult for the masses on a daily basis. People are finding difficult to even eat 1 square meal in a day.
My name is Muhammadu Balagbobo. Join me every Mondays as I walk across the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, taking and asking opinions and views on national issues, only on Nigeria Central Television.
Welcome back to the program. Of course, we're still looking at the topic of $1 billion approval. Now, that's a lot of money. When you say $1 billion, you're not actually talking about 1 million naira. This is not 1 million naira. This is $1 billion. Now, the money, just to bring to your reminder once again, will be used to purchase equipment to fight Boko Haram and other insecurity issues in the country. But a lot of people are talking about the fact that what about the monies and the income that have been spent in the past against the fight against insurgency in Nigeria, and that seems to be the concerns of the average Nigerians. And to quote some of the words of a popular politician in the country talking about Fayose, I'm going to read some of his words to you today. He says that when did the National Assembly approve the spending of this $1 billion? Question mark. And he also says, or can the president spend the money belonging to Nigeria without National Assembly's approval? Which insurgency are they fighting this time? The same one they claimed to have defeated. But of course, like I reported to you on the show today, I told you that the president has actually come to make clarifications that the approval was not final. But of course, you know, it's the beginning process of the approving of the $1 billion fund. But I think what's most important for the average man, the common man on the street, is his security. If $1 billion will get the job done, well, I feel that's the way to go. But of course, when it comes to money, a lot of people are skeptical. And that is why we're taking the views and opinions of people on the streets today on the Common Man Show. So this time around, we'll return to the Common Man to continue to hear his thoughts on this issue. Do remember you can follow us on our Facebook and Twitter page. That's the Common Man Show NCTV on Facebook. And of course, at the Common Man Show on Twitter. And of course, when we come back, we'll be wrapping up the program. But of course, we're going back to the thoughts and opinions coming in from the average Nigerian right here on the Common Man Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Who is the common man? He is the ordinary man, your average citizen.
Until the common man on the street can feel the impact of the exit, we shouldn't be celebrating.
549 and 759 is 99 to defend 100.
Things are getting more difficult for the masses on a daily basis. People are finding difficult to even eat 1 square meal in a day.
My name is Mono Balagbobo. Join me every Mondays as I walk across the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, taking and asking opinions and views on national issues, only on Nigeria Central Television.
I have already said that this is just the way PDP went during their own time. The same thing is happening now. At the twin light of any administration and heading to election, they are saying that they want to fight Boko Haram with $1 billion US. Well, and at the same time, they are saying that they're going to give us amnesty, give the people amnesty. So which one are we going to believe? That is the biggest question there. So it is still going the way of the other political parties. That even though these ones, they came as a rescuer, they say they are coming to rescue Nigerians. But for me, I'm not seeing anything like rescue here. It is even worse now. They know where they started all these things from. You understand? If they said the Boko Harams, they have been telling us that they have defeated them technically. But now, how are we even sure that that money going there will still will do anything better than what we have been seeing? So that is always the problem, because people look at it as if fighting what is it called now, Boko Haram, is not good. It's good because they are also wasting life. But the truth still remains: will the money that are pumping into that particular fight, will it still go a normal way of fighting the Boko Haram people? Because they are saying we have defeated them. They are talking of amnesty, just like I've said earlier. So we don't know. Not that the Boko Haram people have any right to be taking lives, but the people fighting on our behalf, are they truthful? That is always the case.
We need to support her to fight the Boko Haram for us, because so many lives has been going. But we need his support for that fighting that is fighting for the Boko Haram. We don't want to expect anything to continue going on in this country. Let peace be in this country. That is my own contribution for now.
I think Buhari approving another $1 billion, I don't think is good, because he has done that before and we didn't see any impact. So I don't think it is good for him to approve another $1 billion. So I didn't see any impact on that.
Welcome back to the Common Man Show. Of course, we've been looking at a very important topic which has to do with getting funds to fight Boko Haram. But it's not just ordinary funds, it's actually $1 billion that is in the process of being approved by the presidency. And of course, we've heard the thoughts of the average Nigerian and how they feel. You know, when it comes to corruption, Nigerians are skeptical, and some Nigerians are though hopeful that this money will be properly utilized. But of course, a lot of people read a lot of meaning to this. But I think one thing that will help the government to actually enable Nigerians believe in this particular step that the president is taking is transparency. If the government can be transparent in the way and manner with which this money will be used, that is, if the money is finally approved by the Senate, because there are a lot of people in the legislature who are definitely going to fight against the release of these funds to help fight insurgency in the country. But whichever way it goes, it's all about transparency. The common man wants to know how every single money is spent. And of course, we know that this present administration has done a lot in fighting corruption. Every month, every week, you hear news of the Economic Financial Crimes Commission going after people who are stealing funds. But of course, it is expected of the government to be transparent in the way in which it processes funds and uses funds. And I think that is what the common man wants to see, transparency. And of course, we continue to pray that the government is indeed able to fight and kick out insecurity in Nigeria. We all want to live in a country where every man can feel secure and feel safe and not wake up one morning to discover that, okay, somebody has lost his or her life. That's not the Nigerian we want to live in. And Nigerians are, of course, hopeful and supportive of the present government to ensure that it succeeds in kicking out insecurity in Nigeria. And this is where we'll be wrapping up the program. I want to thank you for watching. Do remember to keep a date with me exactly this time next week as we tackle on another important trending national issue, looking at it from the perspective of the common man, the average Nigerian. Once again, my name is Muhammadu. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.